turn on smash, put on the gas, I will not crash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash. S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright.
Yeah.
I ain't finna pay.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Let's go.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. This will go for 5 up to the 33. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
It's a game of 3. Brings up 3rd and 2.
No.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him 6 yards in the first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized. The other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
23 yards on the play. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it, because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins got his man complete over the middle. That's Walton. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Emmanuel Agba in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there, because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things, because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Check 53, Mark. Check 3, check 3.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check pass. Check 43. Ready.
2nd and 10. And his throw here is incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. But now it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career.
Jump at the 32-yard line. Kill. Turn up. Kill, turn up. Slam.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Second and 6. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
From the 41, Cousins over the middle, complete. It's Walton. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Cousins on first down. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him up.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Emmanuel Agba has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
They cannot hold us down. We're going to keep getting set up.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not...
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Lutz's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 44-yard line. They'll look to throw now on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Cousins, and he's going to go down again. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later. So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we've reached halftime here, Charles. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Cousins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 36. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Out of the gun now on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on fourth down. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore right there on the coverage. He was draped all over it. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. They run it again with Kamara. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first. Cousins from the gun on third. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
Just saying maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. He gets it to Thomas. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. And you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. From the red zone now, Cousins. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now on 2nd and 13, Cousins. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Back now in Tampa. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. And Lutz puts this one through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Gary and Conley. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sam Hubbard in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They'll set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Von Bell. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. On 2nd and 9, Cousins. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Kamara. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Ready? Here we go. Here we go. 36.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Lutz's kick is good. And that now makes this a 15-7 game. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
So now the Bucs down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he finds Howard complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. O.J. Howard, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounce back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Walton. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Cousins now. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. In position for the possible game winner, but they need to get up and spike it. 2nd down and inches. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted. but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. They run with Hunt, and he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career, and Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Only a yard there, sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third. 3rd and 8 situation, a tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all time. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 45 on 2nd down, Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. They'll run. This is Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins. Open man. Higbee, the tight end. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. On 3rd down, Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
A on plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.